again. I am rising to my challenge, just so you know. In the last video, I talked about my son and my daughter both having pneumonia. I wound up getting sick too. So, not quite as sick as they did, but I got it nonetheless. Um, so that's why there's a little bit of a gap between. I do want to thank everybody who sent in their comments and emailed me, and I promise I'll email everybody back as soon as I get a chance. But thank you so much so far for the encouragement and everything like that. I will try my hardest, like, not to make this so crazy and all over the place, but that's just me. So, I'm sorry about that, but I really am not sorry for being myself, if that makes any sense. So anyway, in the midst of all of this happening, me getting sick, blah blah blah, my cousin came back and said, you did a really great job. I'm really proud of you, and thank you for that. And actually, one of my friends approached me and said, something like, I know you guys are joking around and that you're supposed to like do this as a challenge, but I really challenge you to be serious about it and to really start talking about your life and to really explain to people what you go through on a daily basis, because when you're telling us about your life, it's really awesome to hear how you handle things and how, it can encourage other parents that have kids with special needs, and help them. So hopefully this stuff will help. That would be awesome. But I will try to take it a little more seriously and really start to explain a little bit about us and what we go through on a daily basis. That being said, I actually made a list. I was gonna do this whole like top 10 thing, but I really didn't want it to be like a super duper long video. So I narrowed it down to 5. And basically, this is a list of the top 5 things I, as a parent with special needs kids, don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear it over the phone. I don't want to hear it when I'm shopping. I just, honestly, I don't want to hear it, period. You want to talk to me and you want to be compassionate about my situation, that's great, but I really don't need people's compassion because I don't see it the way you do, if that makes sense. Okay, so number 5. These are like my 5 favorite ones that I just don't want to hear. So number 5. Oh, he or she has special needs. You would never know that anything's wrong with them. Whoa. Okay, first back up. Nothing's wrong with either one of my kids. Yes, they have special needs. Yes, they both have diagnosis. Um, However, nothing's wrong with them. And if you think something's wrong with my child, even if they look like nothing's wrong, something's seriously wrong with you. And that means what I'm saying is you're a little bit ignorant. And I'm sorry to be so blunt, but like I'm not gonna walk up to you and be like, oh, I'd never know you had a headache today because you look like $1,000,000. No, like nothing. It doesn't matter if a kid has special needs or not. You never, ever, ever say, you would never know something's wrong with them. Nothing's wrong with my kid. So don't worry. So that's number 5. Number 4, someone's not getting their way. Okay, usually this is in a store. I have heard it over the phone, I'll give you that. But normally it's in the store, and it's about my strawberry. My strawberry is my son. He is 6 years old, and he has a diagnosis of Asperger's. Okay, so just quick little side note about Asperger's, the way that it affects us is that he socially sometimes doesn't get my facial cues or things like that. So when somebody thinks he's not getting his way, he's probably having a meltdown because he can't figure out why I said no to something. He can't figure out why I'm angry about something, or he can't understand why we think something is funny. And that's one big thing that we try with him, is never to laugh. He is hysterically funny, and hopefully I'll be able to tell you some of our Stevenisms and things like that. But he really is genuinely funny. He just doesn't get sarcasm. So like it's not funny. He is definitely, even if I said no, yes, he's not getting his way, but not in the way you think it is. Okay, so don't say things like that. It's just rude. It's just rude, period, to say anything. um, this is another one. Number 3. I can't believe she's not reprimanding them. I can't believe she's not like she's just letting him do whatever he wants and she's walking away. Okay, guess what? First of all, it's my kid's reprimand. That's number one. That being said, I don't like seeing you guys reprimand your kids out in public, so why am I going to do that to my kids? Number three, we don't scream at our kids. We don't pull them by the arms. We don't freak out on them. So whatever anybody typically is doing in a store, wow. All right. And I don't say anything to somebody that typically is like dragging their kid down the aisle. Like, wait till you get home. I'm going to beat the crap out of you. No, first of all, we don't hit our kids. That's number one. He is going to get a timeout when he gets home for his behavior. By the way, in case you're wondering, like, does she do anything? Yeah, he does get timeout. He gets things explained to him. Um, and I don't reprimand my children in public because I just don't think that it's anybody's business to see how we reprimand our kids. Maybe I should change that because we do talk to them. We don't scream at them. They get timeout, but another thing about him is if you're going to reprimand him in public, it's just going to make the meltdown worse. And I'm sure if you have a kid with special needs, especially if your child has Asperger's, you get exactly what I'm saying. They're mid meltdown, you're not going to stop it. And if you try to even say something to them, it makes it worse. So no, I'm not ignoring his behavior. I'm not letting him get his way and, what have you. I'm not going to leave my children in a store, but I do walk away because I'm not going to condone him throwing himself on the floor, if that makes sense as well. Number two, what a little brat. Oh yeah, people actually have physically said, what a little brat. And I've actually had somebody go into his face, and I'm surprised I didn't get arrested because I was going to strangle this lady. But, I've had somebody physically go in his face and being like, what a little brat. My son's not a brat, and actually it's kind of funny because I carry cards around with me sometimes. I have blue for him and pink for her, so I know which one to pull. And, because usually by that point I'm just like, and I don't want to like kill somebody. So like I have to say like, okay, blue, just hand her blue and walk away. Because if I stay there, I'm either going to lose my mind on you or whatever. Because by that point, I'm probably exhausted from dealing with that. So, no, he's not a brat. He has Asperger's, look it up, and actually the cards that I do hand out, maybe I'll give you a link to the site that I lead, people to. I lead certain people to certain sites, in dealing with Asperger's or dealing with autism in general. I also have a website that I actually physically type on from time to time to explain things like this. So, what a little brat. No, he's not. And you're being a brat by saying that. So, there you go. My favorite, all-time favorite, number one, is give me 5 minutes with him. Okay. Give you 5 minutes with him when you just couldn't even handle a minute before you actually said something to me. You probably couldn't handle 5 seconds of my life, let alone 5 minutes alone with my kid. Okay, first of all, it's my kid, and I'm going to keep saying that till I'm blue in the face. Second of all, yeah, I wouldn't even trust you if you can't handle 2 seconds without saying something. So that being said, no, we're not going to give you 5 minutes with my son. We're just not, it's not going to happen. So all of this being said, this list, whatever, what it comes down to is, have a little more compassion. If you see a parent struggling in a store, whether it be a typical kid or a kid that has special needs, whether you think they're a brat, whether you think the mother doesn't know what they're doing, regardless, first of all, don't be ignorant, educate yourself about these kind of things. If you don't have kids of your own, you don't even know where we're coming from to begin with. So that's number one, and especially parents that have special needs kids. I shouldn't have to wear a shirt that says, I'm a parent of special needs kids. We shouldn't have to walk around giving you cards like I'm talking about. We shouldn't have to do that. And actually, by us even speaking to you about this and what I'm doing now, this is a common courtesy to actually educate you about what we deal with on a daily basis. So, return the favor, even if it looks like, there's nothing wrong with that kid. That's just not, PC if you want to go that route. But, so just, this holiday season and in general, have a little more compassion about what you see out there and really try to offer a little bit of assistance. Sometimes we like to hear, hey, can I help you with that? Can I help you push your cart? Did you need any help with that? That normally we're so far past it that we're like, no, thank you. But try to understand us a little bit too. We're not trying to bite your heads off either. So that's my list. This is my video for today. Hopefully it makes sense because I just wanted to try, I'm at like 10:30 right now and I'm trying to make these shorter and to really get a little more organized, and hopefully sometime I can do that. But, thank you so much again for your encouragement, and keep your comments coming. I really would appreciate that. If you want to ask me any questions, that would be awesome. Give me something that I can prepare to speak to you about, because believe it or not, I do speak in public about my children. I am an advocate. I do help parents in their IEP meetings. I also am an advocate for the hospital that's affiliated with my children's therapies and things like that. So I actually can speak in public. It's just that I'm nervous because I'm really not prepared with this. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your encouragement and any comments. I really appreciate it. So have a great day. Have an awesome holiday season. Be well and be blessed.